You want to get into a new anime, but you don't want a massive commitment. Well, I got news for you. I got the goods, including what I think might be one of the best anime of the past decade. And it's not Frieren. Here are 10 anime you can finish in one weekend. In a stroke of misfortune, Kamiyama enrolled in Cromartie High School, unaware of its delinquent status. The students here are rough and full of themselves. Some aren't even high schoolers or even human, but the absurdity of their interactions and the hammed up bravado they swing around makes for an entertaining skit show with a bunch of idiots. There's nothing complex here to dive into, no bait and switch to dramatic subplots or anything like that. There are jokes aplenty, and the show never takes itself too seriously. Kamiyama has the loose goal of leading Cromartie down the proper path, though it's rarely brought up, and Kamiyama quietly abandons this idea in favor of just doing whatever he wants. Cromartie High School is chaos incarnate. To give it a try, there's an infamous scene you can watch here on YouTube. Just type in "he ate my pencil" and watch the first one. Oh, and maybe try watching the show in English. The line delivery is a lot funnier in my opinion at least. Too Many Losing Heroines, or Ma Kane, is a high-energy high school rom-com focused on the sidelined heroines. It's a wonderful coming-of-age tale of lovelorn characters internalizing their pain and pushing past it. If it sounds too dour, no worries, the whole series has a light-hearted feel. Tying the experiences together is the protagonist, Nukumizu, who goes through his own metamorphosis as he helps these girls and learns to stop pushing people away. This show's production values are immediately apparent from its opening scenes. It's absolutely gorgeous, and there's enough emphasis on little details like character expressions and movements that add so much to each scene. Give it a try if you're looking for a rom-com with a decent twist to the typical formula. Alright, you can't have this kind of list without mentioning Fooly Cooly. We follow Naota, a 12-year-old boy who gets pulled into the whirlwind of conflict between the manic bombshell Haruko and her bizarre, powerful enemies. The stunning fights, awesome soundtrack, and hype moments will suck you right in. This is one you should pay attention to. Fooly Cooly may flaunt a turn-your-brain-off attitude, but there's so much more going on under the hood. Themes of adolescence, identity, sexuality, and so much more subtly slide through your eyeballs and into your brain cave. Better yet, it's not done in half measures. While Fooly Cooly doesn't explain everything, there's enough to draw your own conclusions. And it's all done in 6 episodes. Amidst a personal crisis, 27-year-old Arata Kaizaki is offered a chance to relive high school in this uniquely grounded romantic comedy. ReLIFE isn't flashy or overly dramatic. Instead, it focuses on engaging, realistic characters while providing a mature and nuanced perspective. Arata, stressed by joblessness and the societal pressure packaged therein, gets a shot at a fresh start through a project called ReLIFE. This project seeks to rehabilitate adults who, for one reason or another, reject society. After taking a pill that makes him look younger, he returns to high school for 1 year. While the setup may raise some flags, Kaizaki is earnest and never oversteps his bounds. ReLIFE delivers a thoughtful story about second chances, and a wonderful romance with plenty of great advice, all wrapped up in 17 episodes. We're dropped into the story along with the main lead, Otonashi, and he has just as much info as we do. That is to say, absolutely nothing. Basically, this is the afterlife, and a group of goofy, rebellious students stand deadlocked in a battle against the oppressive student council president, Angel. It's swiftly revealed that in this afterlife, death has no influence. In order to move on, one must reconcile with their traumatic past and enjoy the life they were robbed of. However, that's a bit difficult for Otonashi, who is an amnesiac. Things are made more interesting by the potential for the students to be obliterated should they find their peace. It's a poignant story of camaraderie and learning how to let things go. The story may sound dramatic, and it is, for sure, but it's actually an extremely goofy anime with a lovable cast of eccentric characters. It's 13 episodes, and it manages to get you right into the thick of it. From the author of Oyasumi Punpun, Dead Dead Demons is a modern-day sci-fi slice of life that mixes quirky characters and the looming threat of an unavoidable apocalypse. Beneath the shadow of a dormant alien spaceship, a diverse cast of characters cope and blind themselves from its inevitable threat by attempting to navigate daily life with an air of normalcy. Meanwhile, on the geopolitical stage, the government views this situation as leverage, willing to stamp millions into the dust to finally wring out autonomy over their civilization. The aloof day-to-day quirkiness slowly loses place as the stage gives way to progressively more violent and horrific scenes. This show will have you excited to see what happens next, and horrified after it happens. Now, let me be real for a second here. Remember when I said the best anime of the past decade is in this list? Yeah, it's this one. There is no succinct way to summarize something like Dead Dead Demons. It's an eclectic whirlpool of hundreds of different themes with so many interesting things to talk about. It requires a completely different video format to tackle. And maybe I'll do just that, so like and subscribe for more. I'll leave you with the only caveat you'll need to enjoy this modern masterpiece. Episode 0 is not a good starting point. You need to watch it sometime before episode 17, but make sure you watch episode 1 first. That's all. The hot-headed outcast Sakura seeks strength above all, transferring to a school known for being the strongest around. To his surprise, the school he attends acts as the guardians for the surrounding town, as opposed to big bullies down the lane. As Sakura begins to feel an appreciation he's never felt before, his prickly outer shell slowly chips away. But that's not why you're here. You're here to watch the fights. Windbreakers sports some of the best action sequences, even rivaling powerhouses like Jujutsu Kaisen, at least in my opinion. It does its best to keep both combatants on screen while animating every punch, kick, and dive. As of recording, a second season is on the horizon, so now's the best time to catch up. Ping Pong the Animation is not your average sports anime. Several characters and plot lines are introduced, expanded, escalated, and satisfyingly resolved in this show's short runtime. 11 episodes may not sound like much will happen, but each one is so densely packed with characterization and development that it'll make you wonder what the heck these other anime are doing for 24 plus episodes. It also sports a really interesting soundtrack that colors each scene perfectly. Another selling point is something you'll already have noticed here, but Ping Pong is visually distinctive. It leverages exaggerated shots, energetic sequences, and surreal imagery to sell the raw emotion of each and every scene. I've heard on multiple occasions that folks won't even watch this anime specifically because of how it looks, and well, that's up to you, not me. Give it like 2 episodes before you abandon it though, because it's like my favorite anime of all time, and I think you owe it to yourself to at least give it a try. A classroom of middle school students are bestowed special powers and left stranded in a different dimension. Tensions run high as the prospect of returning home grows further out of reach. The once loosely unified classroom begins to splinter into subgroups as each group searches for their own salvation. While that sounds like the prime setup for a typical shonen, Sonny Boy is anything but. Instead of focusing on the larger, fantastical plot, it focuses on the journey of its main character, Nagara. Initialized as a quiet outcast, Nagara slowly begins to build confidence in himself as he grows to understand both the world and people around him. Supposedly, the soundtrack was the result of a list of recommendations by Shinichiro Watanabe, and if you've been around the block on his works, then you'll immediately understand that the soundtrack is some grade A stuff. Visually, the anime is stunning, and the otherworldly imagery lends a powerful surrealness to each shot. The plot may be a bit confusing on a first watch, but the subtleties shine through much clearer on a subsequent watch-through. In this loosely historical action comedy, we follow the desperate flight of Hojo Tokiyuki after a violent coup overthrew his family. He encounters the enigmatic visionary Fujimaki, and with his help, Tokiyuki bravely navigates the hardships of the Warring States era while experiencing personal growth as a tactical and fair leader. The reason I chose this one was because of how odd it is, but it's a decidedly different flavor of odd compared to something like Fooly Cooly or Cromartie. I've never seen an anime so quickly switch from cutesy goofs to horrific, bloody violence. Also, you know how most anime nowadays will heavily stylize important action sequences to enhance a scene's impact? Well, Elusive Samurai does that too. They also do it for stupid, inconsequential scenes like these characters falling down a hill, or these two characters just talking. Honestly, I think it's awesome something like this even exists, but this mixture of tactless, emotional flips and weird animation sequences gives this show a unique vibe, for better or worse. Regardless, it's a pretty fun anime with cute character designs and a simple plot. Like Windbreakers, Season 2 is coming up sometime soon, so catch up now. And those are 10 anime you can watch in just a single weekend. Find anything that caught your eye? Consider giving this video a like and maybe subscribing for more if you feel like it. I intend on doing a lot more stuff like anime reviews and ranking videos, so stay tuned. Anyways, thanks for watching.